Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and it's that time of year again, the Disney Investors Call. Yeah, they finally get put out their numbers and say, this is what we made, and they've said it's up and better than they expected, and blah, blah, blah. And all the analysts are kind of debating whether the profit is actually there through their own means or whether it's through other things, i.e. price hiking in the parks and stuff. But we're not here to talk about that part. We're here to talk about the usual thing. Bob Iger used to always come out on these things and start announcing what the future is for Disney. And he would announce, we are going to innovate and move forward with great properties, and then just announce a shit ton of sequels and remakes. Well, some things don't change, because this is the new guy's first outing, and guess what they're going to remake again? Planet of the Apes. Yet, we're going to go back to the Planet of the Apes again. So this is like the third remake in the past, 20 years? This is ridiculous. So, of course, they put out that last movie, which I think was called War of the Planet of the Apes. I can't remember what it was called. I actually still haven't seen that one. And that was under Disney's leadership. And it tanked at the box office. It did not do well. And rather than do a sequel to it and just lower the budget or anything, no, they've decided, let's reboot the thing. So let's have a look at this, because this is just stupid at this stage. So, by the way, who's going to make it is even worse. So 20th Century Studio is rebooting the Planet of the Apes franchise again. This time with a Marvel director at the helm. By the way, when they say 20th Century Studio, don't forget, yeah, it was a Fox property until Disney bought it, and the first thing they did was basically reboot it with this soft reboot sequel thing. So, the Fantastic Four First Steps and WandaVision director, Matt Shankman, has been hired to direct and produce a brand new installment in the Planet of the Apes franchise, Deadline reports. Rick Jafar and Amanda Silver will work alongside him as producers. Yay, because Fantastic Four First Steps and WandaVision did so great. What's he working on? Isn't he working on the X-Men or something? Or is that someone else? I can't remember. They just keep failing upwards. It's weird. So Josh Friedman, who co-wrote the Fantastic Four and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, that was the last one, wasn't it? Their screenplays, is joining the team as screenwriter. So now you're bringing on the guy who wrote two movies that didn't work and failed to write it again. So he wrote a Planet of the Apes movie that didn't work and failed at the box office, and you've gone, well, let's have him write a new one. This is stupid. So instead of spearheading a sequel to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Shankman and Friedman have reportedly been tasked with creating a brand new story. Casting and plot information have not been revealed yet. Well, of course it wouldn't be. They've literally only announced that this thing is about to be worked on. So why would they start announcing cast and stuff? So 5 years after Perry Bollier, I have no idea, wrote, oh jeez, it's all in French now, Le Planète des Signs or something, 20th Century Fox and director Franklin J. Schaefer adapted the novel for the big screen, which stars Charlton Heston as an astronaut who lands on a seemingly mysterious planet that's run by apes. Now it's just talking about all the bloody stuff we already know about the original movies. Tim Burton, best known for films like Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd and The Nightmare Before Christmas, revived Planet of the Apes in 2001, but the remake failed to capture the spirit of the original series of movies. Despite grossing $362 million, Burton's Planet of the Apes earned mostly negative reviews from critics and a 42% score on Rotten Tomatoes. The part they're leaving out here is what was the budget, because I think the budget for that movie was like colossal. It was something ridiculous, like in and around 300 million. So yeah, that's why it didn't work. So a decade passed before the studio returned to the IP with the first reboot film, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which revitalized the franchise with a box office draw of 481 million and an 82% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. By the way, if you think any of these movies are getting greenlit because of critic scores, you're living in La La Land. Oh, the movie absolutely bombed, but hey, our critics score was 82%. Quick, greenlight another one. That doesn't happen. Again, the budget for Rise of the Planet of the Apes was really small, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was really small. Was the first one even called Rise of the Planet of the Apes? It probably was. I don't remember it being called that. But yeah, it was a good movie. That was actually a good trilogy. So it says here, Andy Serkis, who provided the motion capture and voice of Gollum in The Lord of the Rings and Kong in King Kong, had the same roles when he played Caesar in the Rupert Wyatt directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That definitely wasn't the first one, was it? Did the first one not have a weird name, and it was by the end of the movie you realised it was a Planet of the Apes movie? That's what it was going. Was Rise of the Planet of the Apes not the second one? I don't know, I can't remember. So, the sequels, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes, I guess it was called Rise of the Planet of the Apes than the first one, followed in 2014 and 2017, respectively, with Matt Reeves at the helm. Then Wes Ball took over directing duties for the most recent installment, 2024's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which earned 397 million and positive reviews from critics. The film is set hundreds of years after Rise, Dawn and War, and stars Freya Allen, William H. Macy, and how do you pronounce this? Ditchin? Lanchman? I have no idea. Despite previous reports indicating that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was meant to be the start of a brand new trilogy in the $1.7 billion franchise, this latest update shows that 20th Century Studio is planning to start from scratch with a fresh take on Planet of the Apes. That is because the last movie may have made 395 million, but it almost cost that much to make. That's Disney for you. Disney couldn't just take it in and go, let's try and make this for 100 million or something. No, they immediately went, we might need to throw every piece of money we have at this thing. And then people were just like, we don't want it. So it really kind of underperformed. What I think is also interesting is for a franchise that started in the 70s, has, like, God knows how many actual movie titles behind its name. It's a shit ton. The fact that since 1970 all the way to right now in 2026, the whole franchise has only earned 1.7 billion. That has to be wrong. That has to be without adjusting for inflation. Once you add inflation, that has to go up. There's no way it can possibly only be $1.7 billion. That seems way too low. But now the question is, why in God's name are you going to try and reboot the thing again? Like, it's one thing to say we're going to do a sequel to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because people might question that anyway, to say like, well, the last one failed, like, why would you return to the world? But the fact that you're not just returning to the world, but you're like, we're going to do it as a full-on reboot. We're just going to start again. And when the hell did the last one come out? What was it? Kingdom of the Planet? 2024. So only 2 years ago the thing came out, and already they're announcing reboots. Good God. How things do not change with Disney, no matter who's in charge. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for a return to the Planet of the Apes again via a reboot again? Or do you think it should just be left well alone at this stage? Because quite frankly, I think it needs to just be put to bed. We got one great trilogy out of it in modern times. Leave it at that, and it should have been left at that. But let me know what you guys think. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and hit that hype button and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.